It started actually one of our team members, and this is going back. I just literally had a conversation with someone talking about starting a business. Right, your business has to grow beyond you, because if you leave the business or you stop working in the business and you stop making money, it's not a business. Right, it's a glorified job. That's all it is. Right, you got a job, but just in this job, you're the CEO. And so at that point in time, I wanted to stop being the glorified CEO, because I was a CEO, the accountant, the janitor, I was what did I say, janitor?
You said janitor.
Okay, I said it right. I was everything. And I would answer all the phones and do all the paper. I did everything. And so it was, with us being in two different locations, that was really hard. I was out of school. Aubrey was still in school. And that's why we're in two different locations. And so I'm like, okay, I need to hire somebody to help me through this process, because I don't quite know what I'm doing. I take that back. I did know what I was doing, but I had so much. I was doing so much, I couldn't focus my energy on one thing at a time.
At that point, I know for a fact that we weren't just doing government contracting.
No.
That's when we were heavy in medical supply, and
Yep.
all those different orders were coming in, and trying to get into different systems. And so that's a whole other beast within itself.
Yeah.
So trying to manage both of those things, it just was
And then as soon as you get into something, an email comes or phone rings or someone walks in. We had a retail storefront. So people are consistently walking in, and it's like, oh, I gotta stop what I'm doing, and I'm the only person there. So I got to the point where it's like, I gotta hire some help. Didn't have no money to hire no help. Let's start there. But I hired help anyway, and found a really good team member by the name of Kev. Kev came in, and I taught him everything I knew in the government contracting space, because I said, hey, while I run the medical equipment business, I need you to win government contracts. So I taught him everything I knew. Kev came in. Within his first month, he won a contract. Cool. So after he won his first contract, he's like, excuse me, he's like, man, I'm having a little difficulty with these contracts. I'm not winning anything. I feel like I'm letting you down. I'm like, dog, you done made us all this money. You ain't letting nobody down. Like he didn't know, because he had the impression that, man, the people before you, and I gave him, I set the standard high. I did set the standard high. So he had this high bar he felt like he had to achieve and meet up to. And so ultimately, he's like, man, I'm having a hard time. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. And so I said, come in the office, because he was, at this point in time, he was working from, he wasn't working from home. He was still coming in. But I think he was working from home. Because I would do 3 days, he worked from home, 2 days he came in, because I had the money to pay him those other 3 days.
He came far.
Yeah, he came far. And so he comes in one day, and we worked for about an hour on this contract, and I not this particular contract, but I was just showing him, this is how you win a contract, this is how you need to move, and this is how you need to do it. And so I went to lunch. Now, mind you, Kev don't know this, but the lunch, I went to go get lunch. The lunch probably ended up being like $5, $6. I probably had like $6, $7. So when I swiped that card, I was like, Lord Jesus, please go through. And that's just to show you, how far you can come. And if you're dedicated at this thing, something will break through. And I come back from lunch, not even 30 minutes, and I'm just sitting there like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to go back to school, because we've won our first contract, but it's kind of, I've been doing this thing for 2 years. It's kind of a little bit too late. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I haven't seen enough success, because the first contract was just roughly $17,000, $1,000. So I'm like, I gotta think of what I'm my next move. I get back in the office. Kev's like, hey man, I think I just won a contract. And I don't remember but when I looked at it, I'm like, wait, what? The contract was $124,000. And I think immediately I called you. I'm like, Kevin, see, I told you, man. I told you you're going to get rich out of this. Just trust me. Oh man, I was ecstatic. I called Aubrey, and really, it was like that thing, like of disbelief. Like I knew it was real, but I didn't, you know, I didn't know it was real.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like up until it became like standard and regular for us to win contracts, like it still didn't feel real. Like every contract, because coming from where we came from, and like just the start, the inception of everything, it's like it just didn't feel real. Like almost like, what did we do to be here? It's like we almost didn't position ourselves to like almost be worthy of our opportunities.
That's what it was. I think we were always questioning, like, why in the heck are we getting these contracts? Especially because we kept meeting older people, kept meeting other people that were contractors and who've been maybe a federal contractor for years and hadn't won anything. And so that's what, for me, I was like, what the world, you know? And then when we would tell people, they'd be like, no, that's unbelievable. Yeah. Y'all too young. Who y'all know that done put y'all on? Nobody.
Yeah, like that. They always kind of attributed somebody else's, success. Doing the success for our own. Like we couldn't do this on our own, or like it had to be somebody, somebody else pulling the strings. Like we're the ones doing the hard work, the heavy lifting. But somebody else is directing us. That's one of the things that it's like I didn't take it personal. I felt kind of slighted though. Just made that chip bigger and bigger every time though. So like when we reached the point, it doesn't bother me. Like it doesn't faze me at all now. Yeah. So, like once we reach this point, it's like say what you want, but results speak for themselves. Whether you know the true story behind it, or or whether you have insight on it. The fact still remains, fact still stands that we are who we are. Yep. We're done.
Yeah. So that was the first 6-figure contract. And so that contract, I want to add this one. That contract ballooned from $123,000 almost to $150,000 in a matter of months. That was fun. That was fun.
Sure. The whole ride.
And because that was our largest contract, it took us forever to get paid on that contract, Lord Jesus. It took us forever. We got that contract at the beginning of the year, like in February. We didn't get paid until July that year. Yeah. It was July 4th. We was in Nashville celebrating our contract. Oh my God. That would never happen today. Ever. No,
because I would never go back to Nashville.
We had some rough times in Nashville. That was look, shoot. That was a trip. We're never gonna forget that trip, though.
Never.
Yeah, we're never gonna forget that trip. Remember, what was it? Because we had, and then there was another time because we had went to Blue Cantina, remember? And we had celebrated. We were like, oh, we just won a contract. What contract was that for?
Who knows? I don't know.
Oh man, was that for the flash drives? Cause I remember being there. I was like, yeah, I just want to dance.
Listen, man, like we have so many of those stories to where we're going to celebrate something I can't say on camera. Yeah. It's been so many of those times, and like I said, man, that's why it's important to enjoy the journey, and have times like this where we recollect on what we did to get there, and kind of our experience, should I say, or our reaction to it. Just keeps you grounded, keeps you humble.
It does, because when you remember those times when it was like, yo, you didn't have nothing going. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't doing nothing.
Had $5 in your account, but on the precipice of $150,000.
Okay. Literally, remember? Because I think it was during that when we had the $150,000 contract. I was going to get my little loans. So
hey, put them on game.
Oh, y'all! So I gotta put y'all on game. So all y'all that's struggling, I'm about to put you on game, right? So, depending on who you bank with, I'm not gonna tell you who I bank with, so y'all can start going get your bank account. Depending on who you bank with, say for example, you gotta have your overdraft protection turned on. Okay, so I would tell Aubrey, because we were broke. Now we got $150,000 on paper, but we broke as heck. Okay, that was not the word I was about to say. We was broke as heck, like literally $5. So you gotta swipe the $5, like clear your account out to zero, right? Or pull the money out, whatever. And then the same day you gotta go to the ATM and you can overdraft your account, but you can overdraft it up to, sometimes depending on the bank, you overdraft it up to like $400. So it's $400 of none of your money. You have to pay it back eventually. But I was like, hey man, I'm about to go get this little loan from the bank. I was like, little loan? What you talking about? I'm like, yeah man, I done found out. Like, I done found out I didn't get money.
Like, I'm trying to be rational. It's like, but you gotta pay that money back.
I'm just like, you gotta pay that money back. I'm like, yeah dog, but I'll have it then. Right now, I don't have it. So if I don't go and get it today, tomorrow the ATM is gonna say denied. So you gotta go and get it the same day. So all y'all out there, all y'all on Cyber World and who's watching this, gotta go get your monies. Okay, that's how you do it. But you got to pay it back though. Yeah, you got to pay it back. Yeah, because then that's when your account get negative $500, $600.
It's a small personal.
But I'm like, yeah, it's a small personal. It's like this $500 gonna last me until we get paid on this contract. So it worked. I mean, ultimately we were able to do stuff we had to do because I still had to pay. And that's what I was using the money for primarily to pay salary, to wages, hourly wages for Kev and just stuff around the office. It was like none of the money I was using for fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
Not at all.
Inventory for the store,
marketing and
rent,
all kinds of stuff, man. You talking about I was just talking to Lorraine about all the like the systems, like that $3,000, $4,000 billing system that we got that we didn't even use. Like, I mean, scraping up money from every crevice and corner just to make it happen. But it's the consistent dedication, and that's go ahead.
How many deals fell through before?
How many deals
fell through?
Wow, I can't even count.
Listen, we were the richest in spirit people. if we were basing that off what should have been, this would be a whole different story. We might be in a completely different industry.
Y'all, we would have quit, gave up. We would have been selling insurance, car insurance or something like that. Working at a State Farm, for real. All our friends work at State Farms, by the way.
No shot at
big ups to State Farms.
Wow.
But like for real, we had so many failed deals, and I think that's why I didn't allow myself to get excited when we did win a government contract, because I'm thinking there's a little voice in the back of my head say, you're gonna lose this deal anyway.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's why
I never allowed myself to get excited.
I felt that. I definitely felt that. I can concur.
Because I came to you on a million times like, dog,
hey man,
guess what?
We got this going.
Yeah, we got this going. It's about to pop off. This is how we're gonna do it. Boo, 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 boo. But look at us now.
Man, I can't tell you how many things I worked on, like back in the back of the office, and like putting together deals, and they just go ghost. Like, what's the whole company? Like, where'd you go?
The whole company just
company's gone.
You just call one day, it's like you get that downtown do. Unfortunately, this phone number is not available, or it's disconnected. Like, wow, okay.
But honestly, that kept me so excited.
Yeah,
because it was like, okay, I'm this close.
But I think that goes back to our character, because I think sometimes when we work with different individuals and small businesses, we talk about this, and you can see it on some people's faces, foreign to them, because they're like, why wouldn't I give up? But it all comes back to the type of person that you are at the end of the day. Are you a person that's going to give up? Are you a person that's going to cave in and quit? Like, ultimately, the people that see success are not the people that are the smartest in the room, not the people that's the buffest in the room, not the people that, got the most money in the room. It's the people that's consistent. And they're consistently consistent.
We're consistently ourselves 100% of the time. That's it, man.
If y'all heard me just do that little noise, I'll be doing that as an agreement. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, thank you for clarifying, brother.
That's our thing. Yeah. Yeah, man. Like it's sometimes it's when I think back on these things, it's just wild.
Yeah.
And then to be sitting in a totally different, situation, and it's like, man, looking at your accounts, seeing hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's like, oh yeah, this is different. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Yeah, actually touching it. And that's the one touching it didn't feel real.
No, it did. Because remember, I think whatever time we went to the bank the first time, and we went back into the vault. I think that was the first time, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like $20,000. We thought that was so much money, like $20-some thousand, and they started counting it.
Just the money.
Man, we thought that was so much money, but it was for us.
Yeah.
I mean, we was. Cause remember when Johnny came by?
Oh my gosh, 10,000 was it 10,000?
It was like 7,500.
75, not even 2,000.
It wasn't even the whole 10,000.
Like,
our first 7,500. Well, it wasn't our first 7,500, but it was 7,500 in that particular business, and we hadn't been sending no money, man. I couldn't even hold it. I brought it to you in the back room. I'm like, man, count this.
Counted it, made sure it was on.
You know why I did that, honestly? Because I'm like,
he's gonna take it back?
Yes, man. I thought he was gonna take it back. He had no reason to take it back, but I was just like, nah, man, like I gotta get this money out of this guy's face.
Like, because so you didn't think about it.
Right, because every deal was like, man, every deal we have, it is fall in the last second. I'm like, yeah, okay, give me 1 second. I won't get back to you.
Have you noticed, did you notice how when we stopped operating out of fear?
Oh my gosh.
And we started operating out of, I don't know what we was operating out of, but we stopped operating out of fear.
And started operating in faith, honestly?
For sure. And how things just begin to change and turn a new leaf.
You speaking, Reverend.
I know our experience.
You hitting on something.
I know what our experience was.
When we stop moving in a place of fear, start moving in a place of faith and confidence and assurance of what we knew we had.
Our abilities.
Everything just started to come to us. We weren't chasing after nothing. Oh man, you gonna get me started. Now look, hold on.
You done woke up now.
Look, Brandon B, turn on the AC. The itis done fell up off me, y'all. Man, like that's legit, and I think that's what people need to hear. Ain't no 7 steps to success. Really, it's not. Like it's truly, are you walking out of a place of fear? Or are you walking out of a place of faith? Are you allowing God to open these doors, or are you trying to push them open? And I think that's what we're trying to do in the beginning.
We're turned around the whole wrong direction trying to push the door open.
Man, what? We in the wrong direction.
We're pulling instead of pushing.
Right. Nothing was happening. I remember coming a day to you, the Holy Spirit just spoke to me, and I was just like, yo, we've had our hands out. I could just see it like it was like a vision that happened, man. We've had our hands out trying to grab water, right? The blessings or the gold is the water. I'm trying to grab water, but I'm facing away from this waterfall, and I can hear the waterfall splashing right behind me. And it was like, idiot, turn around. Like you're in the wrong, like you're facing the wrong direction. It was like, man, we're this close. And I remember telling you that because we were in the back. It was late at night.
That's one conversation I'm thinking about. Yep. That was, and we made that deck in that room. And it was like 12 o'clock at night. They were calling us, telling us to lead off.
Yes,
like,
it was
12 o'clock at night. And we're in the office. We're brainstorming. We're just chasing good energy. And we both declared this was our last summer being broke.
Yeah, man, wasn't it our last summer?
It was the last summer. We said
I ain't been broke since.
We claimed it. We declared it.
I didn't calm down because the B's like, man, I gotta turn this sound down. It's too loud.
So we claimed it. We declared it. And when you claim and declare something, it's like you actively work towards it. It's like you putting that energy out there and you everything.
Activate something not only in the physical world but in the spiritual realm.
What is that?
Oh, come on, man. Now. Oh, dog.
Come on now,
man. You bring something because see, this is the thing. What people have to understand. God has already established something for you, but it's in a different. It's in a different, what they say, like a sci-fi movie.
Dimension.
It's in a different dimension. That's right, B. It's in a different, no, for real.
It's 10 dimensions in the Bible.
Hey, it's in a different dimension. Listen, it's in a different dimension. And so, in order for you to capture that, you have to activate in this dimension spiritual principles in order to bring that thing down to your dimension. Oh man, dog, y'all gonna get me started. I'm all warming up and stuff. Man, boy, this has been an amazing chat, Aubrey. I want to say thank you. I want to end this one here so we can do a second one before we leave. I want to say thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me for this chat, and thank you guys for joining us for this chat. It's been an amazing time. Don't give up. Don't quit. Be consistently consistent. Chase after your dreams. Trust God in the process, and I promise you, you'll get exactly where you need to go. Talk to you soon.